came to take her away. I want so
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Anyway, it's this week's bullshit fucking New York City Comic Con edition. I figured I had such an eventful weekend that I might as well take you all through it. Where to begin? All right, well, let's start with the hotel, okay? All right, first off, I was meeting up with Jonathan is Magnum, and freaking and Jenna, and we were going to meet up, I think, around 7 o'clock or something like that, and because that's about when they were going to get done being with the con. But I wound up going in early, parked at the freaking train station in Rutherford, because that's my favorite place, because I know all the free parking over there, so I can always park in East Rutherford and find a way to leave my car and not get a ticket and come back a couple days later and everything's fine. Anyway, not the point. I went into the city. We'll start with the hotel. I went into the city. I got there early. I was supposed to check in at 3, but I got there around 2 o'clock. Went to the hotel anyway because I figured they probably had my room ready anyhow, and they did. So I booked this hotel a couple months ago, and I think I was just in too much of a hurry when I booked it, because normally, like, when I kind of pay attention to things like, let's say, like bed size, okay? Definitely wanted 2 beds because I wanted to give John and Jenna the chance to fucking crash my room if they wanted to. And so I got up to this room, and it's the tiniest fucking room. Heritage Hotel. It's between, it's on 25th Street between 6th and 5th. 5th and 6th, 5th and 6th, 6th and 5th, whatever. It's over there by the Flatiron District. The area is really cool, but the hotel was like, goddamn. It was the smallest thing you'd ever want to see, and the bathroom had this really, really large, like, step that you had to, like, kind of step up into, which was, I just imagined being a nightmare for me once I got kind of, once I had a few beers and shit, maybe a little hard to get in and out of that bathroom, maybe. But I did all right. I didn't bang my head or nothing. So, but the beds were twins. They were small. They were like these little tiny beds, and I was like, oh man, this isn't gonna work. I was, what the fuck is this shit? Last time I stayed in the city, I stayed at this hotel right next to Grand Central. I can't remember the name of it, but it was right next to Grand Central. But it had a decent sized bed. The room itself was kind of small. So far, out of the 3 hotels that I've stayed at over the last couple of years, Marriott Marquis has definitely been the best one. That hotel was awesome. 2 big beds, 2 really big beds. But this one, not so much. This one was like, holy shit. So I kind of felt like bad because, I was like, these guys were supposed to crash in my room, and I was like, what the hell? I mean, somebody's going to have to sleep on the floor or something, because these freaking, rooms are so tiny. So keep that in mind when you're booking a hotel room and you look for, Heritage Hotels. Like, oh, this one looks like it's pretty reasonable priced and it's in a decent area. Why don't I go with this one and just make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into? Okay? You're going to stay with, if it's going to be 2 couples, it's just going to be, incredibly hard to, whatever. But, what's this? So, anyway, the area, though, was really, really nice. The Flatiron Building was right there. You walk out, you walk out of the hotel room, you walk to the right, and right there is that little park that's right next to the Flatiron Building, and a couple of little places where you can sit on the sidewalk that's closed off and everything like that. Good places to eat. There's a lot of street vendors hanging around. Tacos. We had tacos. Get into that later. Anyway, I hung around for the Flatiron Building. John, I figured I'd start making my way over to the Jacob Javits Center, just so, my plan basically was to go over to the Jacob Javits Center and then, kind of hang out and wait for them to be done with Comic-Con, but I figured, I'd get sick of waiting, so I'd find a bar locally or something like that, hang out, maybe watch the Yankees, because they came on at 5, and they weren't planning on getting out until about 7 o'clock or something like that. So I made my way over to the Jacob Javits Center. Lots of walking this weekend, lots of walking, and it was more like 20 to 25 blocks from the hotel, so it was a little bit farther from Jacob Javits Center than I had actually anticipated. Looking back, I probably would have gotten to closer, a hotel that was closer, something that was just a stone's throw away. That way, if I wanted to go back the next day, I could. But I didn't know what was going to happen. What was going to happen? I went over there to hang out and got up to where they, the entrance to where everybody kind of goes in for the day. Just kind of, chilled out and sat and watched some cosplayers go by. Great cosplayers, by the way. There were some good cosplayers and there were some not so good cosplayers. Okay. There was definitely a lot of people dressed up as stuff. There was just some where you were just like, looked at it and you were like, holy shit, that's the baddest ass. That must have cost so much freaking money or spent so much time on it. I posted some pictures. Captain America on the motorcycle was probably my biggest highlight of the weekend. That was just, that guy must have spent super amounts of money on that shit. Bumblebee was really good. They had a big Bumblebee guy that was just really lifelike. I got a picture of what's his name? Yondu outside. I didn't get a picture of the guy on the inside. The Yondu guy on the outside had the nice outfit and the nice blue face and everything like that. But the guy on the inside was just as good, only with an addition to looking a hell of a lot like Michael Rooker. So he probably won the weekend as far as cosplays was concerned. Let's see here. On the inside. Oh, speaking of the inside, spoiler alert, I actually got in, and I didn't have tickets to go to Comic-Con, so I was just going there to hang out and wait for Jenna to get out. But while I was sitting there waiting for, time was going by, I was thinking I was going to go see the Yankee game or watch it at a bar close by or something like that. This guy comes by, and he's just twirling his pass. He's like, selling my pass. You want to get in? I'm selling my pass. And I was like, well, how much are you selling it for? And the guy was like, I don't know. What do you sell? What are they, $50 inside? I'll give it to you for $40 or something like that. I was like, I didn't have any cash on me. So I was like, well, all right, dude, I'll tell you what. I don't have any cash. I'm going to go to an ATM and get some money. And when I come back, if you're still here, I'll take your pass off your hands. He was like, all right, dude. So I left. I came back. Of course, he wasn't there. But then there was this couple walking out. And as soon as they were walking out, this freaking really skeevy-looking dude who looked like kind of like he had just like a bump, basically. Basically like this homeless-looking guy. Really scruffy and just looked really shady, Well, walking up to him and he's just like, I'll give you that, I'll give you some money, I'll take your pass, blah, 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 and everything like that. And I wasn't even going to, I wouldn't even bother thinking about approaching him, but I was fascinated by the whole transaction that was going on here. I was like, look at this. But she stopped and she was thinking about it, and I was like, holy shit, she's actually thinking about this shit. So, but then her boyfriend was kind of like, this dude shady, let's get out of here, basically, So I was like, all right, well, fuck it. Maybe she'll sell to me because, hey, I'm your all-American guy that you tell secrets to and stuff, I don't know. Listen, maybe I'm being too full of myself with this, but seriously, I just kind of went over to her. I was like, listen, I'll give you $40 for it. And she was like, okay. And she was like, well, she was hesitant at first. She was like, oh, she looked to her boyfriend and she was like, they're not going to charge my credit card if he gets scanned. And he was like, nah. She was like, all right, well, let's do it. And then I gave her the money. And she gave me the pass, and off I went. Started packing everything into my bags, taking everything out so I could get through the security as quick as possible and everything like that. And I go in, and then there's the moment of truth. They're going to scan the badge. They're scanning the badge. This is the moment of truth. I'm either going to get tossed out of my ass, or I'm going to get access to New York Comic Con. Scan the badge that says valid, and I was like, fuck yes! Dun, 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 dun. Greg's going to fucking Comic Con, motherfuckers! But that was where the excitement ended, because as soon as I walked in there, my fucking jaw dropped to the floor with how many freaking people there were in there, and how exactly massive New York Comic Con was. I really wasn't prepared for it. I knew it was big, but like when I got in there, I was like seriously like just like da 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 like I didn't even know what to fucking do, So anyway, texted Johnny, yo dude, I got in, blah blah blah. So he wasn't expecting that. So like we texted each other, figured out where to meet and everything like that. And we went and met over by the big ass pineapple because it was it's like the only landmark that I could think of that was only that, the Nickelodeon big ass pineapple. It's like, here's a big ass pineapple. There's only one big ass pineapple in here. Meet me there. And that's where Vega showed up. And I wasn't expecting him actually, but he showed up before Johnny did. Vega's like a fucking ninja. But so yeah, I was. But the thing was, I wasn't planning on doing I wasn't planning on doing this. So it wasn't like I was like, oh, I want to go see this panel, or I want to go see that panel, or I want to go see this artist, or I want to go see that artist. I was just kind of like, I was in there, and the whole thing just kind of washed over me. And then I met up with Johnny, and I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm just going to follow you around. I have no idea what the fuck's going on right now. I just have no idea what the fuck is going on right now. It literally was just, it just washed over me like a wave. It's like, yeah, Comic-Con. It's like, it's just, holy shit, this is fucking massive. I wasn't prepared for it. Really wasn't. I mean, they tell you it's big, and everybody says it's big, and everybody says that Comic Cons are like, you know, they're huge and massive, and it's and everything like that. But like hearing about it and then actually like seeing it is just like completely two different things. But anyway, had a good visit with Johnny. We went out that night. We had some freaking drinks. They got to experience the Leprechaun a little bit. Not too bad. I don't think I went too crazy. I wasn't, they didn't have to carry me back to the freaking hotel. So, was it, full speed throttle Leprechaun? It was just a little bit of the Leprechaun, a little bit. Afterwards, we went and got some tacos at this taco place that was really awesome. Then the next day we went and saw Blade Runner. I'll get to that at the end. We went and saw Blade Runner, and there's going to be a little mini Blade Runner review. I'm going to get to it at the end. We went and saw Broseph, freaking IM53 Joseph Churmark up at his place of business, Avalon Riverview North, I believe I can't remember which one it was, but it's one of the Avalon Riverviews. Anyway, consummate professional. He gave us a nice little tour. We got the of the place. We got to see the patio and the fitness center and everything. He just kind of showed everybody, around. I think Jenna and John really appreciated that. What else? It was a great weekend. That's all I gotta say. It was a really good time. I had a very, very, very good time. But what else? Besides the Broseph trip to Queens, John and Jenna went to, I forget what something. They had reservations at some place down in the village at Saturday night, so I kind of flew solo. And I went in search of an Irish pub and looked online, and it said there's an Irish pub that's right around the corner. I was on a mission to get bangers and mash. I don't know why. For some reason, I just wanted bangers and mash. And Safari told me there was an Irish pub that was a block away, but they had closed it down because by the time I went around there, it was nowhere to be found. And this happens all the time in New York City when you look online. Where's the closest thing near me? A lot of times these places either get bought out and turned into something else, or they close down altogether and nothing happens there. But so I wound up walking all the way downtown. I mean, seriously, I was walking for like 35 minutes, just kind of searching around for a place that, and for some reason, nothing looked good to me. But I don't know why I'm even telling you the story. But then I got tired of walking, got back on the subway, went back to the hotel, changed, chilled out, and then looked again, and I found this place called Molly's, and it was exactly what I was looking for. It was only about 5 blocks from the hotel. It had sawdust on the floor of this place. The bartender spoke with an Irish brogue. I ordered my bangers and mash, and then he got all sorts of excited. He was like, "Oh, have you ever had the bangers and mash here before?" I was like, "Dude, this is the first time I've ever been here." He was like, I was like, "Oh my God." He was like, "This is the meal, man. You're going to love it." And he brought out the bangers and mash, gave me this sauce to throw on the freaking sausage. And you know what? No lie, this was the best. That was absolutely the best bangers and mash I've ever had. And believe me, I'm an Irishman. I've been to many, many Irish pubs, and I've had bangers and mash at just about every single one of them. And this was by far the best I've ever had. So it was a great little find. Nice little tiny pub. And the sawdust on the floor was the greatest thing in the world, too. I was just like, this is great. This place is great. It's a tiny little pub, I love little tiny Irish pubs. It's great. But anyway, off of that, that's all I got to say about that. I'm just going to go into Blade Runner real quick, and it's going to be really, really, really quick because, I don't know. If you like the first Blade Runner, I think that you're going to love this movie. If you didn't like the first Blade Runner, then this movie's going to be what it was for me. I'm one of the few people that never really, my skirt never really flew up for the first Blade Runner, so, it didn't flow up for me. What good things can I say about the movie? It was absolutely visually spectacular. They recreated the original movie into this movie, while still maintaining the integrity of the first film, and they did the exact same thing with the score. The score was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I loved the score for this movie. Absolutely loved the score for this movie. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't my cup of tea, and I almost fell asleep a couple times. But, I fell asleep multiple times during the first one. It just, for some reason, never been this big, huge Blade Runner fan. I know a lot of people think it's brilliant, and there's blah, blah, blah. But, at the end of the day, there's too much art in my sci-fi. Whatever. I'm a little bit simpler than that, and call me a simpleton if you must. But anyway, that's my NYCC this week's bullshit review of Blade Runner, and loved hanging out with Jenna and Jonathan and Vega. Hey, it was actually good to see. Vega's not that annoying in real life. Just kidding. Me and Jenna took turns ripping on fucking Vega. It was the greatest thing in the whole entire world. Jenna's good people. All right, take it easy. Love you. Bye. Love you guys. And do something good for yourself. Do something good for somebody else.